Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Well, summer is almost upon us. It's barbecue season, it's vacation season, it's swimming season. Oh, it's also protest season because, yeah, the legislative session has ended. The court challenges start now. People start getting really worked up about things. And candidly, who the hell wants to protest when the weather is crappy? But it has many of you wondering, can I actually protect myself if I go to one of these events? Because they can be rather politically charged and emotionally unregulated at times. And so therefore, there's a lot of people in Washington state who believe that if you want to exercise your First Amendment right and peaceably assemble, you cannot simultaneously exercise your Second Amendment right of self-preservation. Is that true? The answer is no, it's not. So today, what I really want to do is help all of you better understand. So let's do a little law to English translation, help you better understand. Is there any way I can legally carry a firearm to a demonstration in Washington state? Okay, before we get going down the road we're going down, proud to announce that this video and the inspiration for it was brought to you by the conservative ladies of Washington. That's right, the legislative session may be done, but certainly the insanity that comes out of Olympia has not. Want to stay up to date on other actions you can do to either fight some of the new legislation that currently went into effect or to start preparing for the next round of battles? Well, you need to sign up for the conservative ladies of Washington. Nobody does a better job of giving you up-to-the-minute updates and action items on what you can do to stay involved to protect your communities from some of the crazy legislation we see in this state. So, sign up today for the Conservative Ladies of Washington. You can find them at conservativeladiesofwa.com. That is conservativeladiesofwa.com. Okay, so here is the hypothetical we are talking about today. There is a cause that you so strongly believe in that you want to go out and express those views for the rest of the world to see. And perhaps there's a whole group of individuals that share that same belief and you want to go out and peaceably demonstrate or protest in furtherance of your beliefs. Do you have the right to do that? You absolutely do. It's called the First Amendment. Can you arm yourself when you go to one of these events, that is, exercise your Second Amendment right of self-preservation while you're out there trying to exercise your First Amendment right? Many people believe that Washington state law says, no, you cannot. If you're going to a permitted demonstration, you absolutely positively cannot arm yourself at all. That is not how the law works. The laws, as we like to cite to the source of our materials today, will be RCW 9.41.300 as well as RCW 9.41.305. Now, let's start with the big one. RCW 9.41.300 lists all the areas where we cannot carry firearms, and unfortunately it is a statute that looks a lot like this. What we're going to do is we're actually going to be just spending a little bit of time in this section right here, which actually spells out what you can and cannot do as it relates to having a firearm at a permitted demonstration. But I want you to pay very careful attention to one thing as I begin to read this statute to you, which is what's the difference between open carrying and concealed carrying, because there is a huge difference in the application of the law. The applicable section in subsection 2 of 941.300 reads as follows. Except as provided in C of this subsection, it is unlawful for any person to knowingly open carry a firearm or other weapon while knowingly at a permitted demonstration. And this subsection 2A applies whether the person carries the firearm or other weapon on his person or in a vehicle. Okay. So it is against the law to knowingly open carry a firearm at what you know to be a permitted demonstration. And now open carrying means open carrying it on your person or in a car. Is there any other restrictions? Yes, there is. This is the one other restriction also found in section 2 of the statute. It is unlawful for any person to knowingly open carry a firearm or other weapon while knowingly within 250 feet of the perimeter of a permitted demonstration after a duly authorized state or local law enforcement officer advises the person of the permitted demonstration and directs the person to leave until he or she no longer possesses or controls the firearm or other weapon. Okay, so the other prohibition is you cannot be within 250 feet of the perimeter of a demonstration while open carrying a firearm if an officer has told you to remove the firearm from that location. If no officer has ordered you to leave and disarm yourself if you want to remain in that location, then you are not in violation of this statute. But the most important thing is what's found in 941-300 subsection 2E, which specifically states, nothing in this subsection applies to the lawful concealed carry of a firearm by a person who has a valid concealed pistol license. So what that means is if hypothetically you go up to, let's say, Linwood, to observe a permitted demonstration and a counter protest just to see what's going on. And while you're there, you run into somebody you know and you step inside the perimeter of the demonstration and you're armed. Is that illegal? No, it's not, so long as you possess a valid concealed pistol license and the firearm is in fact concealed from view. And then the other thing I want you to remember is under RCW 9.41.305, you cannot open carry firearms onto the West Capitol grounds for any type of demonstration. But RCW 9.41.305 also makes it very clear that nothing in that statute affects the lawful concealed carrying of a firearm while on the West Capitol grounds. So the bottom line is if there is a cause out there and you feel the need to go out and exercise your First Amendment rights, do you have to trade in your Second Amendment rights? No, you do not. However, the days of open carrying at permitted demonstrations are no longer permitted in Washington state. The value of a concealed pistol license under RCW 9.41.050 should become more and more readily apparent. The bottom line is that there is nothing, absolutely nothing in Washington state law that precludes you from lawfully concealed carrying a firearm at a permitted demonstration, so long as the area of the demonstration itself is not a gun-free zone. And the likelihood that you're going to have a permitted demonstration inside a courthouse, inside the correctional facility, inside or on school property, or inside the secured area of an airport is incredibly remote. Listen, you may have more questions about this or anything else related to what's left of your Second Amendment rights. Now, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay, because that information is right down there in the description box. In the meantime, I do want all of you to remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe.